Okay, welcome everyone to Best Practices for Time and Attendance Software Integration presented by Nettime Solutions. If you're on Twitter, our marketing team will be live tweeting throughout the webinar, and you can contribute to the conversation by following us at nettime and using hashtag integrations. Also, this webinar will be recorded and it will be emailed to all registrants, and it will also be made available on the videos page of nettimesolutions.com. My name's Jennifer Spencer. I'm the Director of Marketing here at Nettime Solutions, and I'm also joined today by Bob Riley, who is our Senior Software Engineer. So in today's webinar, we'll first look at the importance of software integration, including data from research studies, and a closer look at the various types of HR software platforms that professionals like yourselves are likely integrating for your company. We'll also briefly cover the types of time and attendance platforms available and the value of a cloud-based platform when it comes to powerful integration. Next, we'll jump into some of Nettime Solutions' best practices for software integration. And then Bob Riley will take those best practices one step further by showing us the various technologies that can be used when integrating with stratustime and what the overall process looks like from a development perspective. And finally, we'll close with a Q&A session, so feel free to enter your questions directly into the question field of the GoToWebinar control panel, and we'll be sure to answer those questions at the end of the webinar. It's probably not surprising to hear that 72% of organizations' workforce management initiatives are driven by two things: cost and efficiency. At many organizations, perhaps even your own, employees have become the most costly asset, and personnel costs for expenses like salaries, benefits, training, and other staff-related resources will easily exceed 50% of the company's total operating budget. Workforce management technology can help reduce costs and improve efficiency and overall productivity. And if properly implemented, this technology can track and retrieve workforce information by providing you with forward-thinking analytics that will help you determine where and when change is needed. Now, according to a research study from Aberdeen Group, when workforce management is automated and integrated, companies will see a 5% decrease in unplanned overtime costs, a 9% increase in their overall compliance, a 17% decrease in HR manual transactions, and a 17% decrease in HR manual transactions, and a 30% decrease in processing errors. So let's take a quick poll with your integrations that you have going on right now. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this poll. Do you currently integrate time and attendance with scheduling? Integrate time and attendance with payroll? And do you currently feel the ability to integrate with your existing systems is crucial? So go ahead and you can respond to that poll. Launching it now. Okay, I think we've gotten all the responses. Oh, no. Got a few more coming in. Okay, great. I think we've got them all. I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. All right, so according to, for those of us here that are on the call, 25% currently integrate our time and attendance with scheduling. 42% are integrating time and attendance with payroll, and 67% feel that the ability to integrate with your existing systems is crucial. So let's see how we compare with some of the national averages. So again, according to research from Aberdeen Group, 70% of organizations are currently integrating their time and attendance software with scheduling software. 66% of organizations integrate their time and attendance with payroll software services. And 58% of organizations feel that their ability to integrate with their existing systems is crucial. So if you're pleased with your current systems, and obviously adding additional software services that can integrate with those systems is going to be more important than, if you're looking at a massive overhaul. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the HR software you may currently have in place in your organization. So hiring software can encompass recruiting, applicant tracking, candidate screening, as well as other features. And the goal of this software is to organize and streamline your hiring process so you can get the right people in the right jobs as quickly as possible. Among other features, scheduling software gives you the ability to auto-schedule, to schedule at multiple locations, and to assign skill levels. And this type of software will also provide conflict warnings and shift planning. With employee self-service as a feature, it also allows employees to bid on shifts, swap shifts with another employee online, and sync their calendars. We find that scheduling software is often integrated with time and attendance software, and at Nettime Solutions, the scheduling features in stratustime have actually eliminated our clients' need for any other scheduling platform. And if you want to learn more about some of those scheduling features that we have in stratustime, you can email our sales team at sales@nettimesolutions.com for more information, or you can make a note in the Q&A field right here on the webinar, and I'll have someone get back to you. With benefits administration software, that brings health insurance, retirement plans, profit sharing, and compensation together in one neat package. It can provide an alert for when an employee becomes eligible for a benefit, and benefit administration software is often integrated with payroll software. So payroll software reduces the time you spend on payroll with features like customized wage calculations, automated year-end reporting, direct deposit, and electronic tax filing. Payroll software can include accounting software or be integrated with QuickBooks, which allows you to complete more tasks without leaving the system. Integrating payroll with time and attendance bridges the gap between hours worked and hours paid. Time and attendance software allows an employee to clock in and out, to request time off, and view PTO accrued. And this type of software can keep labor expenses in check by reducing overpayments and providing alerts to managers before an employee hits overtime. Time and attendance software can greatly reduce the number of hours spent on manual timesheets, as well as post work that is completely eliminated. I apologize for that. The 5 key HR software platforms here that we just covered not only provide analytics and reduce errors and keep you compliant, but they also provide you with extra time that you need to tackle new projects, stay focused on the work that's most mission critical to your business. So within each type of HR software, you're going to find options for different types of software solutions. And some might be on-premise systems that users would have installed on their computers, and others may be software services that are accessed via the internet, also referred to as the cloud. So since Nettime Solutions specialized in cloud-based time and attendance, let's learn about the benefits of this type of software solution. So with cloud-based time and attendance, you avoid the overhead that is associated with implementing conventional software and purchasing and maintaining servers to store your data. You also have quicker access to innovative technologies because there's no need to maintain and improve hardware or install software updates, as they're updated regularly by your provider without any interruption to your organization. And should some form of a disaster unfortunately strike, like a natural disaster or security breach, your data will be safe and secure, and you'll be able to get up and running easily from anywhere in the world via the internet. And when you're integrating multiple software platforms like payroll or benefits administration with time and attendance, cloud-based solutions with sophisticated web services will allow you to seamlessly share your data between platforms, either unilaterally or bilaterally. And this integration can be real-time or can be scheduled every night or every hour, all depending on the needs of your business. Integration's extremely important to us because one of the aspects of our business is providing the time component that complements another company's suite of products. And we do this through different partnerships, and our partnerships can take many forms, like a referral partner or a co-branded reseller. And we even have white label partnerships where we provide the time and attendance engine that's branded as our partner company. And one of our partners recently shared with us just how important software integrations are to her company. She works for a PEO here in the United States, and her company provides human resources, employee benefits, payroll, and risk management services on an outsourced basis for other organizations. And of all of the elements that our partner shared with us, the biggest benefit she noted was that her multiple software platforms were in sync. And a lot of vendors can offer integration that requires you to manually import data. And she noted, you can import just about any data in a file, but keeping in sync, having the data communicate in real time is probably the most valuable aspect of a strong integration. And she also noted that considering how many clients she has, if she was relying on a file-based integration and they were exporting and importing data for all of their clients, she would need to hire a couple of people just to import data. And a more advanced integration allows her to be more productive and efficient while maintaining the integrity of her data. When it comes to integrating cloud-based software, there are some best practices we recommend to help ensure that your integration will be successful. And these practices can be categorized in terms of flexibility, security, and documentation. Today's software integrations are typically either file-based integrations or are achieved via web services. With a file-based integration, you determine what data sets you would like to share between two different software platforms. Data is exported out of one software platform and then imported into another. Today's best integrations are done via web services. So unlike file-based integrations, the communication stream between software platforms isn't start and stop. Rather, the data flows naturally between the two platforms to achieve optimal integration. As a best practice, we recommend that if you are starting with a file-based integration because that's what you need now, you should be able to move into a web services integration as your needs change, and make sure your provider can grow with you in this respect. We cannot stress enough the importance of security in successful software integrations. So make sure your integration takes place over a secure line such as SSL or SFTP. SSL, or Secure Sockets Layer, is the standard security technology for establishing an encrypted link between a web server and a browser. This link ensures that all data passed between the web server and browsers remain private and integral. And also, for security purposes, all integrations should be audit trailed. An audit trail is simply a security-relevant chronological record that provides documented evidence of any sequence of activities so you can know what is being performed on your system. And finally, you should be able to disable your integrations at any time. If you were to discover that someone's using your web services to either pull data out or push data in, you should be able to immediately cut off that activity. You always want to have the ability to view the integrations that will be taking place between your systems. Sophisticated web services integration should give you access to every type of web services layout structure. And in just a bit, Bob will speak about the API library we have that allows you to test the web service and see how it will work within your platform before you take the time to write your integration. Other software providers offering integrations may actually require you to write your program first before you're beginning your testing. Other documented resources like quick start guides and software development kits can help you connect efficiently by providing a simple copy and paste code sample that require minimal adjustment and will get you up and running relatively quickly. And with that said, I'm actually going to let Bob take control here so he can show us what it's like to integrate directly with stratustime. So welcome, Bob.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, so now I will discuss how the general concepts that Jennifer just discussed apply to stratustime and how you can integrate your system in with stratustime. Basically, to do this integration, there are three major areas that you would be concerned with. One would be single sign-on, which basically means that a customer or an employee that is logged into your master system, if you will, can log into the stratustime system and not have to re-log in to the secondary system. Another technology would be web services, and there are subtypes of web services here, but just generally, communications that occur over the internet, basically calling into different web methods to achieve different things, such as the import or export of data. And finally, the transmission of files either from your system into ours or vice versa. These are the three major technology areas that we'll be talking about, and as I mentioned, especially the last two are related to import and export of data. Okay. In terms of the high-level integration flow, this is kind of a very high level of our onboarding process, of which the technical integration is part. Initially, your system, we start setting up your account, we give you a database, we start the ball rolling, then we work with you on creating time and attendance policies, payroll policies, accruals policies, things like that. Then we work with the technical team here, works with the technical team on your side to implement the single sign-on technology. Initially, there is data that is imported into the stratustime from your system, and then basically you go into this general, what at least I refer to as system execution, where the system's up and running, and then periodically you'll have imports going on, exports going on, and things like that. And I just want to note real quick that even though this is displayed in a serial fashion, one following the next, we often, and it's pretty much standard practice, that some of these are done in parallel depending on where things are at between our company and yours. I'll detail a little bit of what single sign-on means to integrating with a single sign-on with stratustime. We basically offer two options. One we refer to kind of informally as a basic single sign-on, and in this case, you basically call into a web service, you get a URL from us, which you then redirect your user to, and so then that is a way of kind of authenticating, or the user is not required to log into our system explicitly. It's just kind of done behind the scenes in that manner. And then secondly, another option is to use the industry standard SAML. This is an open standard covering the exchange of authentication and authorization data. And basically in either of these options, again, there's going to be close communication, a lot of back and forth between the nettime developers and payroll, or your system developers, to get this done. I'll talk right now about the web services offerings that we have. There are three basic types of web services that we offer. One is XML over REST. REST is an interface. It's kind of there are two major types of communications mechanisms, I would say, for web services. One is called SOAP, one is called REST. REST is a simpler of the two, although it's become much more popular in recent years. And then the XML and the JSON are data formats that run on top of let's say, the REST interface, and SOAP is another alternative way. And telling you the specific details of this are a little bit beyond the scope of this this webinar, but if you're interested in learning about this, we can follow up with you and talk more in detail about this. But basically, no matter which mechanism you choose, the flow is the same. You make a web service call to receive a token from our system, and then from then on out, every web service call that you make uses this token, and this ensures a secure communication. Now, in terms of, besides the actual technical mechanisms, now if we look at the actual importing data from your system into stratustime, there are two general types of data that you would import. One is employees, and the other are time off balances. You would typically do this. You can schedule this pretty much however you want, depending on your specific implementation. But the most common ones, of course, are initially when you're setting up the system, you get the initial employees into the system, and then after the system is up and running, when there are changes going on in your employees, people are leaving the company, or there's whatever tweaks to employee data that is necessary, or occasionally also if you have a separate in your system, if you track time off balances separate from stratustime, if you just don't want to use that portion of stratustime, you can also set up the system so your system will put information, this time off balance information, into stratustime. That's another way that you could do things. And the way that you would get this information that I just mentioned in to stratustime, there are many different methods. The most desirable from my perspective, and it seems, but depending on your needs, one would be to use the stratustime web services directly. The advantages of doing that are that the scheduling, all the nuances of exactly what data you put in there, when you want it to be done, that can be dictated by your development team. And you just simply use the web services that we provide in such a way so your system is really the complete driver of what's going on. The second option, this general option, would be that we work with your team and we develop custom importers, and these are special. This is special logic that is designed to work with your system to do things like we could do something like FTP into your system, pull a file out of your system, or we could set up something where we are triggering on the presence of a file that you have uploaded into our system, and there are a variety of different things that can be done here, including we could set up things this could be done on a schedule or things like that. But the one negative, in my opinion, over the web services option is that this requires more coordination between us and you. We're very good at doing that type of thing, but in general, at least from a software development standpoint, I've always found it more convenient if someone can provide more of a generic API, and then I'm in full control of how I'm going to use it. So that's pretty much in a nutshell what importing into stratustime is all about. And so exporting, of course, is just the opposite. It's a very similar type of thing, except we have different data types. We export time card data, when people have been working, things of that nature. Also time off balances, assuming that you're using our time off accrual system. The use time use time off, things like that, adjustments that have been made to the time off. When is this done? Be done at end of pay period is very common, but it can be done pretty much however you want the system to be set up. You can set up your own schedule. And once again, the two methods of doing this are using our web services that are driven by custom logic on your side of things. So you set up the scheduling, you set up the master logic to pull in at whatever rate you want, and or you can work with us to develop custom exporters that do this similar type of things that I said before. We call into your, let's say we can call into your web service, we can FTP a file over to you, we can maybe place a local file and you can retrieve it. We're very flexible in that way. And here are 4 very helpful links. We've done, in my opinion, a pretty good job of documenting the web services, what we offer, how to use it. You can, even right now, even without having an account, you can go in there and experiment and see what type of APIs we have. I realize these are long links, and we don't expect you to write them all down, but we can provide them. We will provide them after this webinar is over. But as you a couple things to call out very quickly. The web service tool, the interactive web service tool, this is a great little tool. Before you have any code whatsoever, you can go right on the website. You can pretty much make web calls into stratustime just right from the website and see what the data, what data is returned in the format of data going out and in. So that also helps later on with debugging as well. We have very good API documentation that details each API, all the parameters of everything, and the second link there is just a very good integration overview and includes not just web services but single sign-on. And that's what I have for technical.
Great, thanks so much. And now we're going to go ahead and open the webinar up to any questions. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and enter them right into the question field on the GoToWebinar panel. Let's see here. See, I already have one. Let's see, one question here. Okay, so first question we have is actually how long does it take to complete complete an integration? So we've already built integrations to over 90 different systems. So you may actually need us to integrate with something that we already have built, and then that's pretty simple. But if we need to build an integration, for our developers, that can take anywhere from a few hours to a week or more. It really depends on the complexity of the system and what your needs are. So if there's something specific, you can go ahead and let us know, and I can get back to you with a more specific time frame there. Okay, let me check. Go ahead and continue to ask questions in the question field. There's a question about our monthly fee schedule, which I'm assuming that's how much does it cost? How much do we charge for using stratustime in general? So our cost, the way it works is on a per employee per month basis. So you really you're paying each month a certain amount depending on how many employees are actively using the system. And if you'd like a quote, I can set you up with someone from our sales department who can talk to you about your specific needs. The prices vary depending on what modules you're interested in having. If you need mobile, if you need advanced accrual tracking, depending on your needs, then those prices can vary. There's another question here asking, do you integrate with any international rather than domestic payroll systems? And if so, do you provide any additional support or functionality for countries with complicated vacation laws? This person says, I've been told Brazil has complicated time off rules, for example. We're not currently integrating with any international payroll systems, but it's definitely on our radar. I actually have one of our developers here, Corey, who can maybe speak to this. I'm going to pass the microphone over to him.
For international connectivity, currently we do some integrations with an Ireland company right now, and that integration is starting to grow significantly. So those channels are starting to open up, and this isn't really a difficult task for us. A lot of this is just based on the partners who want to connect with us. So as these partners come on, integrating with these type of systems is relatively simple for us.
We've got another question here about, I've had integrations in the past. When there's a problem, everyone points fingers and no one takes responsibility for things going wrong. What will make you guys any different? I'm going to go ahead and let Corey answer that one too.
The best response for this is that integrating any type of system can always have its challenges. One of the things that we have right now is we have really good logging and we have tracing ability within our system. So as transactions come in, we can really debug a lot of this information real time with you. We can also coordinate schedules with you. It's very easy for us to sit down with your developers and make sure the process works. From our perspective, if you guys don't succeed, then we don't succeed. So we basically will spend as much time as we need to make sure that the systems integrate tightly and that they work well together.
I don't see any other questions coming in, So, but if you do have questions, you can absolutely give us a call. You can call 1-800-561-6366. You can visit us online at nettimesolutions.com, where you can fill out a contact us form, and we can answer any other questions that may come up for you. Or if you're interested and you want to see more of stratustime, you can request a customized demonstration of our time and attendance software. At the end of this webinar, we'll be compiling all this information, and we'll be emailing you a link so that you can view the webinar online. You can send it out to your friends, to your colleagues, and we'll also be providing those very helpful links that Bob mentioned in his presentation. Again, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.